There's a reason the classic fast food combo, burger, fries and soda, is as recognizable as the stars and stripes. It's iconic, it's convenient, and it's everywhere. For just $5 to $10, you get a warm burger, a tall soda, and crispy fries. But what if this familiar comfort meal is masking a complex story of mass production, artificial engineering, and food safety compromises? What if behind the smiling counter, the real picture of how this meal is made looks nothing like the ads? Welcome to Captain Discovery, where we peel back the layers of the food industry. In today's investigation, we dive deep into what really goes into that simple burger meal. From the patty to the soda, from the butter to the milk powder in your milkshake. So grab your seatbelt. What you're about to learn might just change your lunch plans. Part 1. The burger that lasts forever. 1.1. A patty with a past. Most people assume that the fast food burger patty is made from fresh ground beef. Maybe not gourmet quality, but still real meat, right? Technically, yes. But the story behind that meat is far from simple. Before it hits the grill, your burger has likely been through a complex supply chain involving over 100 different cows sourced from multiple farms, sometimes even across national borders. These cattle are typically raised in large feedlots, pumped with antibiotics and growth hormones to maximize yield. After slaughter, the meat is mechanically separated and sent through large grinders, where it's blended with preservatives like citric acid and TBHQ. It's then flash frozen into patties, stacked and stored in deep freeze conditions, sometimes for months. According to leaked supply chain data and factory audits, some patties can be over a year old by the time they reach your plate, yet still considered safe under current food regulations. 1.2. Preserved for convenience, not for health. So why doesn't your burger spoil? It's science, and not the kind you'd necessarily want. These patties are treated with mold inhibitors, acid regulators, and sometimes even irradiated to kill off bacteria. A famous viral experiment once showed a fast food burger that didn't mold after 10 years sitting on a shelf. While the industry claims this is due to low moisture, food scientists point to a deeper issue. These foods are engineered to resist decay, which also means your digestive system may have a harder time breaking them down. All right, so let's dive into part 2. What's really in that soda? Let's talk about the soda that comes with your meal, usually 20 to 32 ounces of fizzy sweetness. What you're mostly drinking is carbonated water and high fructose corn syrup. This corn-based sweetener is far cheaper than cane sugar and is subsidized by US agriculture policy. It's also been linked to obesity, fatty liver disease, and insulin resistance. A 20-ounce soda contains up to 65 grams of sugar. That's 16 teaspoons of sweetness in one sitting. This syrupy drink doesn't just quench thirst, it creates a cycle of craving. HFCS spikes your blood sugar, then crashes it, leaving you reaching for another hit. Meanwhile, many sodas include phosphoric acid, which gives it that tang but also leaches calcium from your bones, and caramel coloring, a substance that contains 4-MeI, a possible carcinogen found in colas. Ever notice that soda stays bubbly for hours in the cup but goes flat almost instantly when poured at home? That's due to pressurized dispensing systems, flavor cartridges, and chemical stabilizers in fast food machines. Even worse, soda fountain nozzles are often breeding grounds for bacteria. Multiple undercover tests have revealed high levels of mold and E. coli on public drink dispensers, despite frequent cleaning claims. Butter or something like it? When you bite into that soft toasted bun, you might taste a hint of buttery goodness, but make no mistake, that's likely not real butter. Most fast food chains use butter substitutes made from hydrogenated vegetable oils, artificial flavors, and beta-carotene for color. These are known as buttery spreads, and their primary ingredient is often soybean oil or palm oil, heavily processed in refineries before hitting your breakfast sandwich. The butter flavor comes from diacetyl, a chemical once linked to popcorn lung in factory workers who inhaled it in vapor form. Although its use has decreased, trace amounts still exist in many industrial food flavorings. Diacetyl isn't dangerous when eaten occasionally, but it's just one example of how flavor science is used to trick your taste buds without providing real nutrition. To improve shelf stability, fast food restaurants also use emulsifiers like mono and diglycerides, which extend freshness but have raised red flags among researchers for their role in gut inflammation and metabolic disruption. Even the color of the bun, that golden brown look, may come from ammonium sulfate or sodium stearoyl lactylate, not actual toasting. It's culinary deception at scale. Now let's dive into that thick, creamy milkshake. Spoiler alert. It's not mostly milk. In fact, it often contains more powdered milk, corn syrup solids, and stabilizers than real dairy. The dairy content is often ultra-processed skim milk, dried into powder form and then rehydrated at the restaurant, using warm water and blending systems. So why use powdered milk? Because it's cheaper, lasts longer, and is easier to ship and store. Unfortunately, powdered milk undergoes high heat processing, which can oxidize cholesterol, a process that's been studied for its potential links to atherosclerosis. While you won't taste anything off, what you're getting is essentially a dessert made from industrial dairy sludge. 4.2. Stabilized, sweetened, and stored. To keep that milkshake smooth and thick, fast food chains rely on carrageenan, guar gum, and cellulose gel, substances extracted from seaweed, beans, or wood pulp. These are considered safe in small doses, but some have been implicated in causing intestinal distress and inflammatory reactions in sensitive individuals. And the cherry on top, usually not a real cherry at all. It's often a brine cherry soaked in corn syrup and dyed with red number 40, a color additive banned in several countries. The safety smokescreen. You might be thinking, oh, surely if this food were that dangerous, someone would stop them, right? Not necessarily. The US food regulation system is a complex dance between the FDA, USDA, and the food industry lobby. Many ingredients in your burger combo fall under GRAS, generally recognized as safe, a category that allows manufacturers to self-certify safety without long-term studies or independent review. The term natural flavor can mask over 100 chemical compounds, and because many fast food suppliers operate globally, they formulate recipes based on the least regulated markets to maintain consistency, meaning you may be eating ingredients banned elsewhere. Fast food meals are engineered by food scientists and psychologists who test flavor profiles, mouthfeel, and portion sizes. The goal? To trigger dopamine release, create repeat purchases, and exploit your biology. The salt-fat-sugar trifecta isn't just tasty, it's biochemically manipulative. This isn't just about bad nutrition, it's about consent and how much you really know about what you're consuming. Next time you unwrap that burger, pour that soda, or sip that milkshake, remember, you're not just having a meal. You're participating in a highly engineered system, one that prioritizes profit over public health and perception over transparency. From ammonia-washed beef to synthetic vanilla and engineered fizz, each item in your combo meal tells a story of chemistry, convenience, and compromise. You're not being poisoned, not exactly, but you're not being nourished either. You're being fed an illusion, and it's time we start asking, what are we really eating? If you found this breakdown eye-opening, it's just the beginning. At Captain Discovery, we go behind the scenes of everyday foods to show you what the ads won't and what the labels don't say. Subscribe for more deep dives, factory exposés, and truth-first storytelling, because the next time you eat out, you deserve more than a meal. You deserve the truth.